In our NFL free agency episode, Peyton has narrowed his choice down to 3 teams. Buffalo has a $100 million bill, and Marshall reunites with Cutler.
Frickin' Norfolk.
Hey guys, welcome to our NFL free agency special. I'm your host, John Fox, as always, alongside here with Mike Pepsperoni and Mitch Sabatelli. Now we got to cover a lot of info, a lot of everything in a short amount of time. Each deal will tell you the contract, if it's a boom or a bust. So here we go. Peyton narrows his suitors to the Titans, 49ers, and the Broncos. Go.
I guess it's a slap in the face to Tebow. I guess, I think John Elway's always had in the back of his mind that he wants a different quarterback. But really, I like the situation with the Titans. He played his college ball there. He has CJ back as a backup. And, I think it's a solid place for him. He's close to Louisiana. I think with the Titans and Britt, I think that's the best place for him to go.
I honestly agree with you on that one because 49ers are trying to develop Alex Smith in the defense more, try to get him more involved, and they're also trying to develop Tebow more, so that wouldn't really make any much
49ers
sense.
49ers would be a good place to
It would be, but if you want a long-term thing with a good quarterback like that, with a good quarterback upcoming like Alex Smith, then you want to keep him in there. So I think the Titans is the best option for Peyton Manning.
And wherever Manning goes, look for Dallas Clark to follow him too. That's all I'm saying.
Good with the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on. Mario Williams, 6 years, $100 million, 50 of it guaranteed. Go.
Talking about a lot of quiche there. That's a really big pickup for the Bills, especially taking him away from Houston. That brings down their defense a little more. Great deal. The Bills needed something like that to kick them back up and bring them into talks for the East over there.
Yeah, great defensive line now with Kyle Williams in defensive tackle and Marcel Darius, their first rounder last year. Now look, this is a really statement for Ryan Fitzpatrick. You got a solid defense now there, a solid core. Can Ryan Fitzpatrick get you over the hump? You re-sign Stevie Johnson. We'll see. I think this is a solid deal. They finally have an established leader on that defense.
Yep.
Real good deal. Maybe you can make the argument that they should have spread the money out a little bit.
It was worth the money though. I think for something that great on defense.
I mean, he's an impact player, and only 27 years old. You gotta like that.
Very good.
All right, moving on to the next. Brandon Marshall traded to the Bears for 2 third-rounders.
Yeah, apparently this was after he punched a girl in the face. There's just too much baggage over there for the Dolphins. Dolphins want to get a fresh start, maybe getting a Matt Flynn there. Brandon Marshall going to the Bears, that's not a bad place for him. He gets playing with Jay Cutler, who he used to play with the Broncos. They had an established chemistry over there. I think this is a really good place for him. And with that Bears defense, Brian Urlacher could keep him in line. I mean, Lovie Smith's going to keep him in line. I think this is a good move for the Bears, and now they have that deep threat that Cutler's needed.
Seems like the Dolphins are trying to rebuild, getting rid of Henne to Jacksonville, getting rid of Marshall, which is your best player on the team pretty much. I mean, maybe it's just a good deal for Chicago, bad deal for Miami, I think, in the long run. Honestly.
But giving up only 2 third-rounders, I mean, it's a good deal for both sides. Get rid of the baggage on the Dolphins side.
Better for the Bears.
You get rid of the baggage on the Dolphins side, and you bring in a huge impact player with Cutler. Solid.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Megatron, 7 years, $132 million.
Very good move to lock him up. He's arguably the best receiver in the NFL. The Lions need to keep someone like him, an impact player, someone who will definitely help them in the forward march to moving up in the playoff standings.
Yeah, listen, I mean, they already locked up Stafford. Megatron is now the highest priced receiver in the market, deservedly so. This guy was an absolute machine last year, racking up double-digit touchdowns. I think he had a final total of 15. This guy is arguably the best deep threat in the game right now, and also a vertical mismatch in any cornerback. Not only can he go deep, but he can elevate, almost like a Vincent Jackson, get up there and get the ball. Huge end zone threat from Matt Stafford. Now, I think they got a solid core going forward, and if they could get another guy on the outside or maybe a running back behind him, that's a very good offense for years to come. Yeah. Very solid defense, too.
Very good.
Jim Schwartz, very underrated coach.
Very good team in the future. Better than a 6 seed next year, I think.
Playoffs last year, and who knows, maybe they can get a little bit better.
Yep.
All right, next story. The Redskins trade 3 firsts and a second for the Rams number 2.
Yeah, and that number 2 is going to be Robert Griffin III out of Baylor, the Heisman winner. I mean, when you look at it, 3 first-rounders, and Redskins have always had a history for making bad moves. But if you could get an arguably one of the a franchise quarterback for the next 10 years to come, I'm giving up 3 first-rounders. I mean, right now I think if the Patriots could look back and say, oh, listen, could we give up 3 first-rounders to ensure that Brady is your franchise quarterback? You got to take that because that's the most important position in any sport. So, yeah, looking at it, for some guy in college, you're giving up 3 first-rounders, it might look a little lopsided, but if Robert Griffin is the real deal, which it looks like he can be, I like that deal for the Redskins. And now, rather than going out there and getting the old Peyton, you get a young, fresh blood quarterback to bring in.
I agree with that too, because the problem with the Redskins was they were always known for they brought veteran quarterbacks in when they were too old. Kind of like a Donovan McNabb. They brought Donovan McNabb, didn't really work out. Bringing Peyton Manning might not work out. So this is their big move, saying we're finally ready to rebuild, bring in RG3, and move on as a franchise.
You know, they had that horrible contract with Albert Hansworth. It's time to wipe the
slate. They need more than 4 wins. That's what they're looking for. So
tough division.
All right. Well, you know, when your 6th top story is VJax signing for 5 years, $55.5 million. You know, you get a jam-pack episode. But they get Carl Nicks for 5 years, $47.5 million too.
Yeah, I really like this contract with the Bucs. I think Josh Freeman's a solid quarterback, but the one thing he needed another outside threat. Yeah, he has Mike Williams, but that was kind of just a chemistry thing, and he had a little bit down year last year. Kellen Winslow's there as your experience, but he really needed a legit #1 receiver. This is a boom for me. I think this is a great deal. Only $10 million. I mean, that's a big contract there, but I think Vincent Jackson's going to live up to that contract. He's pretty durable there, and like I said, he is the best at going up there and getting the ball out of anybody in the league. Great leaper, great deal right there.
I think that's a good deal for VJax. Move on from the San Diego Chargers and the problems they've had with as a franchise itself, and hopefully move on and build with Tampa Bay and Josh Freeman.
And San Diego also gets a little bit of a replacement there with Robert Meacham, who's not the same guy who can go up there and get the ball, but he is a huge
for the Saints, so I think it'll be good for the Chargers.
And they have Gates there, they have a few weapons there, and Ryan Matthews, Mike Tolbert back there. So I mean, they can still have a solid offense for you.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Randy Moss signs with the 49ers.
You know, looking at this, you look at the 49ers had such a good season last year, great defense, up-and-coming offense. I'm going to say this is a bust. I mean, yeah, they got him for real cheap, but I mean, I think Randy Moss should have gone to a team that has a little bit more of a experience, you know, maybe going back to a Patriots type, a little bit more grounds to, you know, keep him stabilized a little bit. You know, 49ers, Alex Smith is a free agent right now. I think Randy Moss going to a team that already has an established quarterback to say, listen, go to the coach and say, listen, I don't want this guy on the team. They can immediately cut him. I think it's a little bit of a question mark there with Randy Moss.
Whether you get Alex Smith or Peyton Manning, it's still great offense. You got Gore up there, you got Crabtree, you got Davis, and Moss will just add some veteran leadership to a young team that's trying to develop in the West. I know in a division that can be easily won.
Yeah.
Easily won. They took it last year. Why not take it again this year? It's going to be even more of a reason.
It's definitely
Moss
the easiest.
will bring less immaturity and more leadership than he has on previous teams.
It's definitely the easiest division, the NFC West in the whole league. The only thing is Moss, I think he has in the back of his mind that he is getting a second chance here, and that if he does screw up or make anything, the 49ers are definitely going to kick him out. Harbaugh's not going to take any crap.
Good deal.
All right, moving on. The Rams get Cortland Finnegan, 5 years, $50 million.
I think it's a pretty good deal. He's known for his scrappy play in the corner position, fighting off Johnson. He's not afraid to back down. That's the type of play you need in that position in the NFL. Pretty good pickup. I really like it, in all honesty. They needed someone like him.
I'm going to disagree a little bit. I think this is a little bit of a bust. I think Cortland Finnegan's had a little bit of a down year last year. I think he's a little bit overrated as a cornerback. Yeah, he is physical. He's not going to take any crap. But the only thing is the Rams, they're a young team. They have a lot of holes in that defense. I think $10 million a year.
He'll block up some holes.
Yeah, no, he will. But I mean, he's gonna be a legit corner for years to come. However, I think with that much holes on defense, I think it would have been better to give a couple different guys contracts.
Start somewhere though.
That's true. But I mean, spread that contract a little bit out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, moving on again. Pierre Garçon goes to the Redskins, 5 years, $42.5 million.
I think this is a boom of a contract right here. Pair him with RG3. I think this is a great move. He's going to work right into RG3's assets there, his mobile ability. I really like Garçon. And last year, you've seen Wayne had a kind of an off year. Clark got hurt, had an off year. Garçon was really that one guy with Curtis Painter there and Orlovsky who really shined and still had a pretty good year. I think Garçon is the real deal. Solid contract there. Good pickup for the Redskins.
I think it's a really good pickup for the Redskins. I mean, the money-wise too, not that bad, $8 million a year. So I mean, he's a good enough receiver to earn that kind of money. Just he'll step up a little more, just even more than he has. So I think he'll be more elite. It's a good fresh start for him compared to an indie team that was fading.
Now, it's a tough division. They had a solid defense there. However, that offense is taking shape. You got Roy Hill back in the backfield. Now you got RG3. They also got Josh Morgan
Santana
here, a little
Moss,
bit of experience. Santana Moss, Fred Davis, and now Garcon. I like that offense.
Solid.
All right, moving on to big extensions now. The Eagles extend Trent Cole 4 years, $48.5 million. And they extend DeSean Jackson 5 years, $51 million.
How have they not hit the salary cap yet? They just keep on making signing,
That's
and everything.
right there.
I like the Trent Cole signing, but I mean, DeSean Jackson's had a lot of baggage in his last couple of years. I was shocked when he made that deal. Yeah, I thought he was going to go out there. He would probably get a little bit more money in the open market there. I thought the Eagles were going to pass a little bit and let some of the younger guys come in, like LaShawn McCoy right there. And is the running back of the future, kind of get a little bit more run, less pass. But, I don't like the deal too much for DeSean Jackson. Trent Cole, one of the best pass rushers in the game. I really like that deal for Trent Cole.
Yeah, it's a good deal for Trent Cole. I think it's a good deal for DeSean Jackson himself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's mainly more of a bring the maturity to the team and get rid of the immaturity as a wide receiver, and mainly just kind of like a grown-up thing. We're willing to put the money on you, so you know what? You need to prove to us that you're mature enough to accept this kind of cash.
I would have liked them to hold the money.
Wide receiver of your caliber.
I would have liked them to hold the money and really made Macklin their number one guy.
The good thing is, I think they're trusting him, so I think that's good for him. It's good, like a booster for him. And the
good
team
on special teams
himself. Yeah.
All right, moving on to the second big extension. Reggie Wayne signs a 3-year, $17.5 million deal back with the Colts.
Yeah, Jim Irsay threw out a tweet saying Reggie. I don't like this deal for the Colts or Reggie Wayne. I think Reggie Wayne should have followed Peyton. And, Colts are going to just be rebuilding here. They don't need Reggie Wayne. I guess it's saying how they could still compete a little bit with Andrew Luck, give Andrew Luck a target. But I think they should have just started completely fresh, let Pierre Garcon go, let Clark go, and let Wayne go, and just let Luck establish a new chemistry with some other guys. I don't like this deal too much. I think Wayne, he is showing a little bit of the loyalty there.
The thing is, with Wayne, it kind of feel, if I were him, I'd feel like I'm all by myself. You lost all the players that you once were extremely good cohesively with on a team on offense. And Clark, Adai, Peyton are all gone.
Yeah.
And Garcon's gone too. I think Garcon will be the one to stay. I don't really get it.
Adai wasn't really much of a factor. But
you know what I mean?
They just cut everybody there shopping free too.
They got rid of their offense. But it's a good deal, I guess, for Wayne. But I don't know if he really wants it. I think he really just wants just get his money and hopefully help Andrew Luck as a quarterback.
The one thing about Wayne, though, is he always had that Harrison, that Clark in front of him. Now he is the guy. Maybe he can establish some chemistry with Luck.
I think he could.
All right, moving on to the final big extension. Marcuslston signs a 5-year, $40 million deal with the Saints.
I think it's good, especially with all the Saints have been through lately with the getting
bounty scandal.
Yeah, the bounty scandal and everything.
No contract.
It's good. It's good with get Breeze back, then get his number one with Colston back. I'm glad it's good for them that they did that. They really needed that because they were starting to fall off, and at least it's some good news for the Saints.
Now they at least have that core back, and they can say, listen, Breeze, we are looking to help you out here. We just signed Colston. Please sign us our contract. Breeze was just on a late-night talk show, I think it was Jay Leno, and he said, listen, I want to stay there with the Saints. I don't care about these problems. I want to be on the Saints.
He said he wants to stay there his whole career.
He wants to stay there, yeah. He is a Saint. What he's done for that franchise, they got to pay this guy. But, the Colston deal, that's a boom of a contract right there. Good deal for Colston, good deal for the Saints.
Yeah.
All right, now we have some time for extra signings. We have 1 minute left. Just going to tell you some extra signings. Peyton Hillis goes to the Chiefs. Laurent Robinson to the Jaguars. Grubbs as a replacement to the Saints. And Kyle Orton to the Dallas Cowboys.
Biggest bust, Laurent Robinson. Look, you were number 4 over there, making Jacksonville your number 1, and now you're going to be double covered with Dwayne Gabbert throwing the ball?
Yeah.
No way. I also like Eric Weems pairing up with Devin Hester. It's going to be scary.
I think Hills to Chiefs not a bad deal for $3 million.
Jamal Charles, yeah, that's tough.
$3 million. I'll
That's
take
going to be a tough backfield.
All right.
Orton to Dallas. Maybe replace Tony Romo with all the struggles over there eventually.
All right. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. A lot of updates every day.
And also watch our March Madness special, NBA special earlier today.
Yep. All right. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Congrats, Norfolk State.